We have a butterfly valve here. It is used as a control valve for a fire sprinkler system. And as all fire sprinkler system control valve, it is important that these are self-indicating. Self-indicating means that we can stand from afar and actually realize if the valve is open or closed. Right here we have a flag, and the flag is going parallel with the pipe, so we know that this system is open. As you notice, as I start to close this valve, our flag begins to turn perpendicular to the piping. Therefore, we know that it's closed. It is very important to ensure that our control valves are open when we put our systems back in service. Okay, what we're looking at here today is a common control valve. It is called an OS&Y. Can be referred to as an outside stem and yoke, sometimes an outside screw and yoke. On a control valve, they all must be indicating for fire sprinkler systems. The way an OS&Y valve is indicating is by the rising stem. So as you notice, if I go to close this, my stem starts to go away. Therefore, if I am across the room and I look over here and I see this valve stem is all the way in, it is easy for me to know that this valve is closed. Contrary, and when I open a valve, the stem comes out, and I stand across the room. I can look over here with my stem is out, I know the valve is open. And that is the typical function of an OS&Y control valve. What we have here is an OS&Y valve that is not attached to a system. And on here, like we talked about, is an indicating valve. Another good thing about these valves and why they're preferred is if you look through here, you don't see any obstructions. So there's very little impact on our hydraulic calculations. And so this just works like a gate. And as you can see, as I close the valve, the gate is closing down here. My stem is lowering, so therefore I know my valve is either partially or fully closed. And that is a good working OS&Y valve. Okay, so this is the inner components of a tamper switch that is typically used for an OS&Y valve. An OS&Y valve, as this is mounted to the valve, secured, when you rotate the valve, it is actually going to hit this lever and it's going to create a contact. So the contact, as you can see, the lever right here, goes against the spring, and what it does, it allows a set of contacts to come together, which will send a signal to the alarm panel saying that you have a control valve that is either partially closed or completely closed. All right, so this is an OS&Y tamper switch, and what it's meant to do is if a system control valve is closed, it's going to send a signal back to the alarm panel. And the way that does that is I start to operate this valve, there's a lever right here, and that lever will start to move. And as that lever moves up, it is going to send a signal back to the alarm panel indicating that I have a valve that's either partially closed or fully closed. To reset the alarm, open the valve all the way back up, and you should be able to hear a click and that you know the system is reset. Once you open up a control valve all the way, just slightly close it to keep the tension off of the stem. And that is an OS&Y tamper switch.